All in Sports Network. We love sports.
All right, so as much of a relief as it is for Colts fans to get the first season opening win since 2013, that's a bad news. They
Oh,
haven't started 2-0 since 2009.
hey, we broke one streak. Why can't we break another? Is Daniel Jones the guy to do it?
Oh, Indiana Jones, welcome to the show, bringing the gun to the knife fight. I've already said a forbidden word online, but and what a day to do that. Okay, so here we go. I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All Indiana Sports as part of the All In Sports and Rogue Media Sports Networks.
Yep, welcome back in. The Colts look to capitalize on the momentum for their first week. One win in 11 years. I said that weird, 11. But they come up against a strangely familiar foe who took the old Peyton Manning to win a second Super Bowl. How can this year be different from last year's mile-high letdown? Let's discuss as we go all in.
Yes, you could follow us on TikTok and Instagram at All Indiana Sports and Twitter at All Indy Sports. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, last year's game was rough. We looked to rebound off of that. Speaking of rebound, open goal rebounder. If you would like to learn more about that, click the link in the description for more.
Yes, the all-time series, Colts versus Broncos, is tied at 15. Charvarius Ward is in concussion protocol. Not sure where that's going to land at this point.
We'll probably know. As of right now, this is Wednesday.
They usually let us know about by Friday morning if they're going to rule him out. So
because the game is on Sunday, so keep everybody guessing up until completely understand.
And concussions are not like a typical injury. You don't know exactly where it's going to land.
It's not like an ankle injury where you can ice and elevate, and then it's fine within 2 days. It's
severity.
It's just literally all that fixes it is time.
Yep.
That's all that fixes a concussion.
Yep. You're dealing with nerves, and they don't like to cooperate sometimes. You never know. Also, the Colts will be in a whiteout wearing all white, but I have to say this.
This is in Denver,
They're just wearing road. No, it's at home. They're just wearing road uniforms at home.
That's so weird.
Until they do what I've been saying, where they wear road white top and blue pants, you're just wearing a road uniform. And go with the blue face mask, and then you can switch it out to the old white face mask that was in the 90s as well, early 90s, Eric Dickerson days, and then you're going all white face mask, white top, white bottom, when you normally have blue pants, and now you actually have a whiteout.
I like this. I like this idea better.
Okay.
Who cares about a whiteout? Don't wear white at home. Get an all black uniform, do a blackout.
I think it's an ode to Tyler Warren, actually, because he had plenty of whiteouts at Penn State. And
scary. Indiana's going to have to face one of those. Probably.
Right. This is now his third time at Lucas Oil Stadium. Actually, third game because he played the Big Ten championship there. But also, it's his fourth time because of the combine. So.
Yeah. Oh, right. By the way.
Yes.
For just some reference, because the combine kind of reminded me of something. Talked to my teacher today, because I wore a Colts hat or our hat, our logo hat to school.
Okay.
He was like, "Hey, is that a Colts hat?" He's a Houston fan. Keep in mind, he didn't know I was a Colts fan until today.
Okay.
So
I hope you still have a good grade.
Yes. Yeah. So he was like, and then I was talking about, our podcast and stuff that we do, because it's not the Colts logo, it's our logo.
Yep.
And he's like, that's super cool. I was talking about, how we're signed into All In Rogue Media and how that's been a blessing for us and super cool and stuff like that. So he's going to shout me out in one of his classes. I think it was like a digital and tech sport class, something like that. So if you're coming over from there, hi. If you see me on campus, you're more than welcome to say hi. And he said UMHB students take a trip to the combine from sport management. So,
There
and
you
normally
go.
that's not for me because I'm earlier on in the program, but he's like, we might have to get you to go. I'm like,
That'd be amazing.
take a trip to Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat some good food? Yeah. My mind went instantly to, oh, it'd be fun to watch the combine. And then it's like, oh, what food could I get?
Oh, the good old places in Indiana. All right.
Yes.
Time to get into the game. What are your keys to the game against the Broncos?
Let's see here. Run the ball and keep running the ball.
There you go.
It worked with JT. It worked with Giddens. It worked with Danny Dimes. The Broncos defense is not
Yep.
as good as it was last year. So use that. Your offense
Okay.
is better than last year. Their defense is not as good. Not as
You
productive.
think so?
Not as productive.
They've got
I don't.
after 6 sacks on Cam Ward in week 1.
Okay. Cam Ward is Mr. I'm a stand still. And he continued to do that.
He backtracked a lot. He thought he was still in college and he
And
could outrun these guys.
we're comparing the Titans offensive linemen to the Colts offensive linemen. By the
I
way,
hear you.
quick little stat, Matt Gonzalez, the right guard, and Tanner Bortolini, center. Bortolini was 4th among graded centers this week, and Gonzalez was 1 against guards, not right guards this past week. I think our offensive line is proving even more that it's a top 5, and it's with different people, which means it's the coaching. Anyways,
Exactly.
back to my keys of the game. So you got to run the ball.
Yep.
You got to. I think use Tyler Warren as much as you can. He is the rookie leading receiving yards. There is a reason for that. Use him. And Daniel Jones loves to throw the ball short.
Yep.
Which I'm fine with. If it
Yep.
works, it works. If you're gonna have long 8-minute drives, stall the clock out. Oh yeah, that's Colts football.
Yep.
But I want to run because they're gonna expect run. Run. If you get 4 or more yards on that first run, play action, shot. Second play of the game. Get it to Pierce. We saw the one catch he had last week. Phenomenal adjustment. Great ball placement. Put it where only Pierce could get it. Great adjustment so that he could get it.
Yep.
I want to see that. I want to see more shots because whenever he did throw the ball deep, it seemed to work.
Yeah.
And then on defense, contain Bo Nix because he's not known for scrambling, but he can use his legs, and it's dangerous.
You're right. Yep.
Their running game is not as good as it was previously.
With J.K. Dobbins?
I think Javonte Williams is better. Look at what Javonte did on the Cowboys.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So it's not as good. Still need to apply pressure because J.K. Dobbins isn't some pushover running back. There's a reason he's starting. But you don't need to worry about that as much because of the receivers. Cortland Sutton's scary. They have Jerry Jeudy, right? Yeah?
No.
No? Okay. Cortland Sutton. And then there's a couple other guys that are crossing my mind, but I forget their names. They're good young talent. Yep.
Mims and Franklin.
Yep. They're good young talent. And this is Bo Nix, Oregon Bo Nix, to Oregon Troy Franklin as well.
Exactly. Yep.
So they already have that connection. So be wary of the pass game. I don't remember who their tight end is exactly, but it's good.
Evan Ingram.
Exactly. They have a good
Colts
receiving
plenty
core.
of. Yep.
They have a good receiving core. It's a good thing we have a good secondary. Even if Ward is hurt, I think we have it.
You're right.
Because we have Xavier Howard as our other number 1, which he proved last week that he can play the number 1 spot. Yep. We have 2 number 1 corners on our team. That's kind of crazy to me.
Yep.
Those are my keys to the game.
All right. I may shock you here. Protect the ball and take the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Colts had 3 interceptions on the Broncos last year in the last year's meeting, and the Titans had 2 against the Broncos just last week. And then get the ball out quick to offset the aggressive defense. I agree with you. Run the ball. That's a way to get after an aggressive defense that's going to want to rush the quarterback. But don't be surprised if they bring a lot of 5-man to try to clog that run up. And so I am going to slightly disagree with you and say early play action. Play action off of it right away. Expect them to expect you to run and play action and but not deep shot. Play action downs, play action Warren, play action Pitt across the middle, something like that.
Or I'll throw this at you. What's the extension of the run game?
The screen game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And JT has seemed to improve his pass catching over the offseason, which is great.
Almost like I called that.
You always want to know where Pat Surtain is. He was the defensive player of the year at cornerback, which lately, past several years, is unheard of. It's usually a pass rusher. So he is that good. If I just know where he is and don't throw to him, just stay away. Even if it's your number one read, check out of it. You got to know where he is and check out of it and go to somewhere else. You got to know, and this may vary throughout the game, if he's going to follow, whether it's Pitt or whether it is Pierce. You got to know if he's going to follow or if he's going to play in one position, and know that may vary. Know where he is. Don't throw to him. Just don't. Don't do it. You must do a better job. The one thing that I will criticize the Colts on last week is converting field goals into touchdowns. The scoring on every drive is unbelievable, unprecedented, especially this century. Only team to do that. But 4 field goals to 3 touchdowns is a bad ratio. You have to punch it into the end zone. You have to finish those drives with touchdowns to leave no doubt.
Agreed.
Sean, that's my first Remember the Titans reference of the season. You're welcome. Sean Payton likened Anthony Richardson to Taysom Hill before last year's game. So this year, show him how much better AR is than Taysom Hill with a package of like 10 to 15 plays where he can come in and he can be a extra running threat, but also a much better passer than Taysom. Yes, you won't see him lined up at tight end or split out wide, but who knows? You may, even if it's a dummy. Try to get Anthony Richardson in the game just as a weird threat, because you know who would love to do that? Sean Payton, but he doesn't have them. Special teams and Mims. Mims is explosive. Okay. He killed the Colts a couple times with some returns last season, in last year's game. He was explosive and dangerous just last week against the Titans. So either cover it or kick it away. I would love. There was talk from special teams about dirty kickoff kicks. That didn't happen. I think there needs to be something done about that. It wasn't done league wide. I want to see what we talked about last year, when you kick a dirty line drive kind of kick that lands about the 10 or 15, is going to bounce all over the place. Not a bounce and then catch all over the place where it can roll into the end zone. Because if it bounces in the landing zone and then rolls into the end zone, it's old school, and it comes out to the 20.
Yeah.
And if you hit it dirty enough, then they have to deal with that.
Yeah. I saw one kick this week. It was Chargers-Chiefs game. Okay. Chargers had, I believe it was Dicker, had and it spun this way, if that makes sense. Like you're not catching it like if it's horizontal, it spun horizontally.
Good.
And it bounced and went to the side, but it wasn't enough spin on it. So the returner ended up catching it, but still it took time because it bounced. So they had a split second more to go get the returner. But stuff like that is exactly where it spins in an awkward way.
You're a specialist. You have nothing else to do during the week other than practice your field goals, yes, but like let's figure out this kickoff. Let's get a cheat code on the kickoff. Okay.
Yeah.
Confuse nicks, bring stunts, bring blitzes, bring linebackers, pull people in, and then pull people out, double mug, all that kind of stuff. Confuse him. He's still only in his second year, and he's got enough to worry about just with all the verbiage and everything that he's going to be getting from Sean Payton. So the last thing that he needs to be worried about, which is what you want him to be worried about, is all of you and what you're going to be doing. You have to be playing chess against Sean Payton. And then on the other side, don't bite on the motions. Stay home and committed to the gaps. And then watch the screen passes and the bubble screens. He loves that kind of stuff. You know who else loves bubbles? Babies. Yeah. Joi Baby Sleep Sacks can help you cuddle your little one in for the night. Click the link in the description for more on that. It's time for your matchups to watch.
Yeah. Who we go first? If it's Ward versus Cortland Sutton. If it's Howard versus him. And then I'd imagine Mims is going to play slot a decent amount because of how explosive he is.
Yeah, so he's a little bit of both, but yeah.
I'm going to say Kenny on Mims. I think even if he goes to the outside, you keep Kenny on him, especially if Ward is hurt. I think Kenny plays the outside a decent amount. I think he just follows Mims around everywhere because I think that size matchup, they're both pretty explosive in what they are. I think Kenny's got the arm length on him, and so I think that's.
I think it could be the new guy, Mekhi Blackman.
I could see that. And then Evan Ingram.
Especially with Ward out.
Yeah.
You're going to have to maybe mix some stuff up. And Kenny might play on the outside a little bit.
And then Evan Ingram versus whoever Lou decides to put on him.
I just said coverage.
Yeah.
You got to cover him. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's a threat if he can get the ball in his hands.
Yep.
And then a little combo thing. Two against Bo Nix being the outside contain of the edges, allowing Grove and Buck to get to the interior. I think that's going to be a big part of this game is keeping him in the pocket because he can do a lot of stuff. He's very not as good as Josh Allen, obviously, but he's Josh Allen-esque. Whenever he gets out of the pocket, he can make stuff happen. Yep. Don't allow him to do that. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him as a pocket passer. He likes to get out of the pocket. He likes to be forced out. Then it becomes backyard football.
Yeah.
Normally, younger quarterbacks like that type of stuff. And then flip it to offense. I believe Nick Bonita is still on the team.
Oh yeah, just signed a big contract.
So him. JT versus him, or Giddens, whichever one. Because traditionally Nick is more of a rusher rather than a coverage guy.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big one, Pat Surtain versus Pittman or Pat Surtain versus Pierce, whoever he's lined up against. Because yes, I agree. If Pittman's on Pat Surtain, don't throw him the ball unless it's like a quick in or something like that. Pierce is on him, and it's a one-on-one. Don't mind throwing a jump ball.
All right.
Like if worst comes to worst, Pierce knows how to play defense. He can play defense if he needs to. I mean, jump ball guys can play defense.
Yeah. You're right. I'd rather not put him in that situation.
I understand.
All right. I have the Colts O-line versus the Broncos pass rush. Zach Allen, DJ Jones, Alex Singleton, Justin Sternad, Nick Bonita. Those are big names all coming at you. And then Tyler Warren versus Talanoa Hufanga. I call him by his last name. Hufanga from the Niners.
He got Niners, yeah.
Right. He got pulled over from the Niners. And then Cam Bynum versus Bo Nix's eyes. The best defense against Mims is getting deep, right? So you want to make sure you keep Mims in front of you. So you got to be able to read that. Zaire Franklin versus J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, and I forget their third string that was out, but it's a three-headed monster for sure their running game, and Sean Payton will use all of them differently to their different strengths. Speaking of Sean Payton, Lou Anarumo versus Sean Payton. Oh my goodness. Like, if you love a game within a game and like all these different, movements and, counter moves, watch when the Broncos are on offense and the Colts are on defense. They have only matched up once last year when the Bengals won 30-24 in overtime toward the end of the season when the Bengals needed it. If you remember that game and Jamar doing his thing at the end. Okay. That's the only time that those two have matched up against each other. And we'll just say the Bengals weren't good on defense last year.
No.
So I'm very interested to see how that goes.
By the way,
yes,
you talked about coaching and made me think of something else about my class again.
All right.
We were talking about management stuff today, and like owners and stuff like that. And the first page was the Ursay daughters on the background, and my teacher.
So it's fairly new stuff.
Yeah, my teacher pointed it out as like, hey, I'm gonna ask our resident Colts fan this, who is, and I looked around the room real quick to see reactions, and there were a couple. That type of stuff. I was like, it's fine. I get it everywhere. But I was like, I was like, those are the Ursay daughters, and then we started talking about female in sports and how they're technically a minority because there's, coaching staff is mainly male and stuff like that. I won't get into
the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions.
Yep. Even the assistant coach for the Pacers as well.
Yep.
I won't get into it too much because that's a whole topic within itself.
Yep.
But my point being, we were talking about how girl ownership could push girl coaches, and then my teacher asked me, "Would you want that?" I was like, "Well, as of now, no, because I'm happy with our coaching staff," which is pretty crazy to say, considering how bad the coaching has been in recent years and how just one coaching staff switch can switch the whole team.
Yep. That's true.
Right.
Just like Lou. And I am going to close it out with the other coaching battle, and that is Shane Steichen versus Vance Joseph. They have seen each other plenty over the years in different settings, being OC, DC, all that kind of stuff. And so Steichen is currently 4-5 all time against. So this would bring them back to 500 as it was before last year's 4-4 before last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, Zaire Franklin has to have that. Z has that dog in him. Farmhounds can help you with your dogs in puppy training with their healthy treats. That's what we love at Country Mountain Dogs. You can click the link in the description for more on that. And so that brings us to our all-in player to watch. And this one is brought to you by our new partner, Underdog Fantasy Sports. You can go on their app on the website and you can play their games. You can look at players and say whether it's going to be higher or lower, their touchdown, their yardage, whatever. And you can do individual players. You can combine it with other players and do a flex move and do it that way. Really cool thing. So you can check that out. Underdog Fantasy Sports. Who is your all-in player to watch?
There's a lot here that it could be. Just to throw a funny one out there, Cam Bynum.
Okay. Funny one.
Funny one. Cam Bynum. What celebration he comes up with?
That dance.
Yeah.
That dance comes from
2015.
Well, yeah, he's been.
Remember, he was doing it.
Yeah, it comes from a Vegas group that did it. I forget their name.
Oh, the dancing group with like the masks and stuff.
Yep.
Yes, I know what you're talking about because I saw Cam post that, and then they replied, like they commented, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna be one of us soon."
And in the video, apparently he did have something planned, but he couldn't find the people that he had it planned with, so he just took it solo and did it. So.
That makes sense.
All right.
Cam, find the people. I want to see it. And
Yeah.
then, but my actual all-in player to watch is Daniel Jones. I think that's kind of who the whole league is watching for the Colts right now.
All right.
And I completely understand it. Can he perform again? Or was week 1 a fluke?
All right. Mine is going to be Jonathan Taylor for many reasons. For the obvious reason of redemption. Last year, it's hard to say that he wasn't. That moment where he dropped the ball and the drop heard round Indiana was not the reason the Colts inevitably missed the playoffs. But you saw how he came back the next game and ran into the end zone the first time, held the ball really tightly. He doesn't make the same mistake twice. He just doesn't. He never does. And so Jonathan Taylor will have a redemption game, I believe. If you want to take my advice on Underdog Fantasy Sports, I believe he will have at least 3 touchdowns in this game.
Wow. I don't even know what the higher or lower is.
Don't blame me if you lose on that one. That I'm much better at the game as a whole than individual players. Okay,
Yeah,
I will leave that as a caveat. All right. So to go into even more depth, then what is your prediction? Who's going to win?
Colts are gonna get it done. It's at home. You got to win against someone who basically kicked you out of the playoffs last year. You have to win. You have to have that chip on your shoulder. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a lower scoring game, 21-17.
All right. I had one score and team, and then I changed it. I had an odd score. It was like 25-16.
Oh, okay.
Colts. But I am not superstitious. I am just a little stitious. And I don't pick the Colts to win. And then they win. So I'm going to go with the Broncos 19-18. Still an odd score. You're welcome.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't mind it.
There we go. Speaking of superstitions, did you wear blue? Did you wear Colts this past week?
I wore the Colts hat.
You wore the Colts
it was kind of because I went out dancing that night. So I wore it while dancing and stuff like that. So whenever I got home, I just took it off.
Now,
and
you wore a Colts hat or you wore an Unstable Blues hat?
I wore our hat, which is still technically Colts.
Yeah.
But then the next day I was at home, so I didn't wear any blue. I was hardly wearing clothes, but that's probably TMI for this. I was wearing shorts, just wasn't wearing a shirt, and most of my blue stuff comes from the top part of my body. So
cool. Well, I think before we go any further, that's all the time we have for this week. We'll be back next week with our recap of the Broncos game. We will also bring you our fever frenzy as the WNBA playoffs are upon us and the fever are in. Then we will have our unstable pick 6 NFL weekly predictions, crimson cutback look at IU football, and finish off the week with our preview of the Colts' first road game and divisional opponent of the year against the Titans.
Yep. Well, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all Indiana.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.